Hello and welcome to our series of Target Prelims 2019. Coming to the first topic for discussion, this is a government scheme. This is an important one, which is the Pradhan Mantri Aushadhi Pariyojana. Now, this is a direct market intervention scheme of the Department of Pharmaceuticals. By direct market intervention is that government is also setting up such kind of shops. So it is directly participating in the market. That is why it's a direct market intervention. And the department is the Department of Pharmaceuticals. So this is first thing that is important. Next, what is important is the objective. The objective of this scheme is to make available quality generic medicines at affordable prices to all, especially the poor, through outlets that are known as the Jan Aushadhi store. So this is also something that is important. It is something that is available to all the people, especially to the poor, but as such there is no such division. So that is something that is important vis-a-vis this. Also, the medicines that are going to be sold here are the generic medicine. It is also envisaging that doctors should be encouraged to prescribe generic medicines. You should know what generic medicines are. Generic medicines basically are the chemical composition of a medicine without any branding of that particular medicine. When a simple medicine is what is branded by a company, then the prices are somehow that are raised, but generic medicines are being not branded, are available at much cheaper prices. So that is what is envisaged to be provided in these Jan Aushadhi stores. Also, state government is required to provide space for the Jan Aushadhi stores in the government hospitals. So you should know that space is what is going to be provided in all the government hospitals and not in private. Another thing that is important is that civil society with a 3-year experience in social welfare can also open these Jan Aushadhi stores near government hospitals. Also, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana Kendras is something that is important. These Kendras are something that can be opened in any government agency by any government agency in any government building. For example, it can be opened in railway stations, bus stations. These kind of government buildings can have these kendras that are the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana Kendra. A question can come on this as specifically. Another thing that you should know is that about the Bureau of Pharma PSUs of India, which is the BPPI, is the implementing agency of this entire scheme. Though the scheme is an invention of the Department of Pharmaceuticals, it is under this, but the implementing agency is the BPPI. Also, it will provide one-time assistance. The BPPI is going to provide one-time assistance in furnishing and establishment cost of the outlet, which is the Jan Aushadhi store. So this is what is a self-sustaining business model, that once a store is what is opened, the store is definitely going to get some profit, and from that profit it is going to run the store. So this is going to be a self-sustaining model, and frequent subsidy is not what is going to be required. One-time help is definitely what the BPPI is going to provide. So that is all about the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. Coming to the next topic for today's discussion, which is the Forest Rights Act. This is a topic that was also requested by one of our viewers, so I have picked it up for discussion today. It is a very, very important topic for this year's prelims because a lot of news related to the Forest Rights Act is what is coming. So the act itself becomes important. Now, first and foremost about this particular act. Now, this was an act that was passed in the year December 2006. So the year of its passing is what is important. This act deals with the rights of forest dwelling communities over the land and other resources, and thus this act envisages about granting legal recognition to their rights. Now here you should know that since India got independence and before India's independence also, the forest dwellers were largely targeted by the governments. This was because forests were what were considered as the property of the state, and no rights were given to the forest dwellers who were living in these areas for long. So this irony or dichotomy was something that was continuing for a very long period until this particular act, which came in the year 2006. And it was after this act only that the entire system changed, where forests were not considered as a property of the government, which was to be ruled by the bureaucrats. Rather, it became a thing which did recognize the legal rights of the dwelling communities in those regions. So this is the entire spirit with which Forest Rights Act was implemented. It was an act that championed the cause of human rights. So this is one concept that you should understand about forest rights. Next, what is important is the eligibility criteria. Now, the first criteria is that those who are primarily residing in forest and who depend on forest and forest land for their livelihood are eligible for this legal recognition. And also these people should either be a member of the scheduled tribe community, or they must have been residing in the forest for a time period of 75 years. So these two conditions are what need to be fulfilled, that they should be primarily residing in the forest, and either they should be from the ST community or residing for 75 years. So this is what is the eligibility criteria. Next, what is important are the rights that are given under the Forest Rights Act. This can be a question in PT. The first right is the title right, which is about the ownership of land that is being farmed, and the limit on this land is to the maximum of 4 hectares. So what is important here is that only that land which is cultivated, which is being used for farming purposes, is what is going to be recognized as under this particular act, that will be given legal recognition. And on that also there is a limit of 4 hectare of land only. Another thing that is important is with regards to the usage rights. Now they are given rights to use minor forest produce, to use the grazing areas, and to use the pastoralist routes. So this is something that is important vis-a-vis this particular right under the usage rights. Third, what is important is with regards to the relief and development rights. Now here they have a right to rehabilitation in case of any legal or, for that matter, forced eviction. This is rather, sometimes their eviction is also illegal. In that case also they have the right to get rehabilitation and also the right to get basic amenities now under the Forest Rights Act. This was something that was not provided in the past. Whenever a development project was something that required forest land, it led to that forced eviction without any rehabilitation, causing majority of the forest dwellers to land up in cities where they are working as laborers, living in slum areas. So these were some social issues which were arising because of these developments. So definitely in that regard, Forest Right Act was something that came, and it was a success in this regard. Another thing that is important, another right that is given, is the forest management right. This is one very important right that often students might have a tendency to forget. Now this right is what is given to protect the forest and the wildlife. Previously it was the responsibility only of the government to protect the forest and the wildlife, but that is no more the case. Even the forest dwellers have a right to protect the forest as well as the wildlife. They have the management rights of forest. So these are the 4 rights that have been given to them. Next, what is important vis-a-vis this particular act is the process of recognition of rights, and this is something that becomes important because this is something that is in news recently. Now here you should know that the Gram Sabha has the primary role, which is a very important role, that it is the Gram Sabha which will first recognize that who should be given this right, who should be given this legal recognition. So the Gram Sabha is going to make a list of people who the Gram Sabha thinks are eligible for getting these rights. Once this list is what has been made by Gram Sabha, it goes to a screening committee. Now the screening committee is of 2 types. It is at 2 levels. One is at the division level, subdivision level, and second, this committee is at the district level. So this is something that becomes important vis-a-vis this screening committee. Now the screening committee is what consists of 6 members. Amongst these 6 members, 3 are officials and 3 are elected leaders. Now amongst the 3 officials, you should know, 1 official is from the forest department, 1 official is from the revenue department, and 1 official is from the tribal welfare department. So these are the 3 officers, 3 departments which are represented in the screening committee, and the 3 elected members will be the members from the local body at that particular level, that is at the subdivision level as well as the district level. Now what has happened in the present case is that the government is saying that the Supreme Court has also taken a note that it might have happened that there have been lapses by the screening committee, which has resulted in denial of these rights to approximately 10 lakh people, causing the Supreme Court to order their eviction. That was the entire controversy. So this committee, the role of the Gram Sabha, all of this is what becomes important vis-a-vis the Forest Rights Act. So that's all about Forest Rights Act. A question will be, if it is to be framed, will be framed from these areas only for prelims. Coming to the next issue which was important, this is some current affairs from the month of June of 2018. This is about the exercise Malabar. This was a trilateral naval exercise between India, Japan and US, which was held in the month of June. You should know some points vis-a-vis this exercise that would become important. This was started as a bilateral exercise between India and US in the year 1992, and Japan joined only in the year 2015. This was the 22nd edition of this particular exercise that has happened in the year 2018, and the aim here is to increase interoperability amongst the navies of the 3 countries and increase maritime security. So this is something that is vis-a-vis exercise Malabar that is important. Only the countries are what are relevant for us and the year in which it took place. So that is something that can be asked rarely. So that is all for today's discussion. I thank you all for watching the video.